Every morning, thousands of planes pierce the Indian clouds. To you, they are just metal tubes. But to two men, they were the ultimate gamble. Imagine two CEOs. One was born into a palace of liquor and gold. He didn't just want an airline, he wanted a flying kingdom where every passenger felt like a celebrity. He was the prince of glamour. The other man? He was the monk of efficiency. He didn't care about champagne or silk seats. He had a singular, almost obsessive focus: time. He didn't want to give you a dream, he wanted to give you a bus that flew. In 2005, they both entered the arena. One would become the king of the Indian skies, commanding a fleet that defines a nation's travel. The other would become a cautionary tale, a ghost in a London courtroom, leaving behind thousands of unpaid employees and billions in debt. Today, we strip away the logos. We hide the names. We look at the raw DNA of two empires to answer one question: why does ego crash while discipline soars? Let's look at the prince first. He was the heir to one of the largest spirit empires in the world. He was used to the king of good times lifestyle. To him, business wasn't just about balance sheets, it was about the show. His motivation for starting an airline? He felt Indian aviation was boring. He wanted to bring the red carpet to the 30,000-foot mark. Now look at the strategist. He didn't come from a liquor empire. He was a travel industry veteran. He partnered with a man who had spent his life inside the guts of United Airlines. They weren't looking for glamour. They were looking for the gap. Their motivation was simple. India's middle class was growing, and they were tired of two things: trains that took 48 hours and airlines that were never on time. While the prince was hand-picking the uniforms of his flight attendants to ensure they looked like models, the strategist was in a boardroom in Toulouse, France, negotiating a deal that shocked the world. Before they even had their first flight, the strategist ordered 100 planes. It was a $6 billion bet. The industry laughed. Who are these guys, they asked. The prince, on the other hand, launched with a few planes, but spent millions on a launch party that the world would never forget. By 2006, both airlines were in the air, and the experience was worlds apart. On the prince's airline, you were treated like royalty. There were valet services at the airport, you had the best food in the sky. The prince personally checked the brightness of the cabin lights. It was a 5-star experience at a 3-star price. He was subsidizing your luxury with his liquor profits. On the strategist's airline, there was no food. If you wanted a sandwich, you paid for it. There were no TV screens. Why? Because screens add weight. Weight burns fuel. Fuel costs money. The strategist's team obsessed over something called the turnaround time. Most airlines took 45 minutes to land, clean, and take off again. The strategist did it in 25. By saving 20 minutes on every flight, his planes could fly one extra trip per day. That extra trip was pure profit. The prince was building a brand. The strategist was building a machine. But then the prince made his first fatal mistake. He wanted to fly internationally. In India, back then, you had to be 5 years old to fly abroad. He didn't want to wait, so he bought another airline, a struggling low-cost carrier, just to get their license. He tried to mix luxury with low cost. It was like trying to put a Ferrari engine inside a tractor. It didn't make sense. The debt started to pile up like a mountain of ice. 2008, the world economy collapsed. Fuel prices skyrocketed. For an airline, fuel is 40% of the cost. The prince was terrified. His Peacock airline was heavy. It had heavy seats, heavy entertainment systems, and heavy debt. He went to the government begging for a bailout. He started delaying salaries. Pilots started walking out. But look at the strategist. While the world was burning, he was calm. Why? Because he had a single fleet policy. He only flew one type of plane, the Airbus A320. This meant every pilot could fly every plane. Every mechanic knew every part. He didn't need to stock 1,000 different spare parts. He also did something brilliant: sale and leaseback. He would buy a plane from Airbus at a discount, sell it to a leasing company immediately, and then rent it back. He had mountains of cash, while the prince had mountains of debt. While the prince was seen at IPL cricket matches and Formula One races, the strategist was in his office looking at on-time performance charts. He realized that in India, luxury is a choice, but punctuality is a necessity.
By 2012, the end was near. The prince's airline was a zombie. Planes were being seized by banks. The king of good times was being called a willful defaulter. He fled to London under the cover of night, leaving behind 3,000 employees who hadn't been paid in months. His airline shut down completely. Not a single flight took off. The brand that was supposed to be the pride of India became a symbol of corporate greed and vanity. On the other side of the runway, the strategist was preparing for an IPO. His airline didn't just survive, it thrived. It became the largest airline in India, carrying 1 out of every 2 domestic passengers. He didn't need glamour. He had built such a powerful machine that even during a global recession, he was making thousands of crores in profit. The prince was Vijay Mallya. His failed dream was Kingfisher Airlines. The strategist was Rahul Bhatia and his partner, Rakesh Gangwal. Their empire is Indigo. Today, Vijay Mallya is a fugitive fighting extradition from the UK. He lost his planes, his liquor empire, and his reputation. He chose Vanity. Rahul Bhatia is one of the richest men in India. Indigo has a market cap of billions and a fleet of over 300 planes. He chose Vision. The lesson for us in the crunch matrix is simple. Number 1, focus on the process, not the prize. Number 2, standardization is the key to scale. And number 3, ego is a heavy luggage, and in aviation, weight kills. Mallya wanted to be loved. Bhatia wanted to be efficient. In the end, we love the airline that gets us home on time, not the one that gives us a hot towel before crashing. Which CEO's path are you on? Are you building a peacock to show off or an eagle to hunt? Thanks for watching this deep dive. If you want more stories of billionaire battles, hit subscribe. And tell us in the comments, did you ever fly the king of good times? Or are you a loyal Indigo traveler?